mental health is something that we don't talk about enough. In the black community, well, we're massively overrepresented in the mental health institutions, even more so than in the prisons. And again, these are questions we have to ask. Well, why?
You know, but once you get a control and an understanding of who you are, no one can use you against you. No one can ever use your mental illness against you. You've already spoke about it, so what you got?
The biggest point in life to resolve mental health is like giving a fuck about a person.
Where did you get the courage? I got the courage for 2 words. I care.
It's Chill Will Radio, where connections will be made, advice will be given, jokes will be told, and things will get real. My name is Willis Cooks, and I'm your host. But understand this show is not meant to be used as a substitute for a relationship with a licensed mental health professional. Enjoy the show, y'all. Yo, what's the deal? What's poppin', everyone? Good morning. I hope everyone's doing fine. Let me go ahead and get all this stuff situated. Make sure everything's good and make sure you can hear me, man. I hope everybody's doing good this Tuesday morning, man. I am doing dope. It feels nice outside. Yo, it's been hot. It has been hot. And it's like 1,000% hotter because we got to wear these damn masks. And me, I have a beard, so like it just holds in all of the heat when I have to wear it. I don't wear it all the time, but when I have to wear it at work, it just holds in everything. But aside of that, I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone's doing straight. I'm feeling good this morning. I woke up well. I had a good night's sleep. It's crazy because whenever I sleep early, whenever I get like 8+ hours of sleep, I wake up tired. I don't know if this is the case for some of y'all, but when I get more than 8 hours of sleep, I wake up tired. But when I get 4 hours, like last night I got like 4 hours and I woke up hella energetic, right? But when I get 4 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, like I be waking up good, right? So last night I went to sleep like around 1, woke up at 5, got here, went to work, clocked in. Now I'm here in the studio getting things popping. So Tuesday morning is dope. I am doing well. The one thing I have been focusing on myself is just being way more attentive about how many things I pay attention to, right? I have a tendency of trying to do more than one thing, right? And for a lot of us, we do have that tendency, right? We think, hey, we got everything in check. I can do everything. So when we do more than one thing, what we're really doing is accomplishing nothing, right? So what I have been doing lately is just putting all of my attention on one thing, and that's one thing I challenge everyone to do, right? Especially a lot of us who have these goals and we have these places that we need to be to, and we have these things that we gotta get rid of, such as like certain debts or certain people, certain relationships, whatever it is. We got these challenges in life that we have to get through, right? Taking one thing at a time, because when you try to take on 3-4 things, what you're really doing is you're separating the energy that you could be placing towards one, right? You're separating that energy into 4 different parts if you're trying to take on 4 different things. And what's going to happen is the energy that is needed to get over that one specific thing is not going to be there because you're using it up in other areas, right? So be mindful of how many things you're taking on. Do things one step at a time. Trust me, it's not going to go anywhere. That's something I've been focusing on for the past few months, and I'm beginning to notice things are moving a whole lot quicker. Things are moving a whole lot quicker when I'm taking one step at a time, and that's kind of I don't know. I can't think of the right word to say, but we think, right? We think that if we take care of, if we are really, really good at multitasking and we handle multiple things at once, we think things are getting done a little bit quicker, but in reality, they're not, right? Because like I said earlier, we have to separate the energy that we're putting towards different things. So what you're doing right now, whatever you have on in your life, write a list of certain things that you have to get done and focus on one thing at a time. Even if it's just like, today I'm going to stick to this, right? For the next week, I'm going to stick to this. So that way the energy that is needed in order to get through that one thing, yo, that shit gonna be there, homie. Because you're not gonna be able to find the energy in other places if you spending it elsewhere, right? Treat your energy like money, right? And don't spend it on bullshit. Don't waste your time on any of that stuff, right? None of it. So that's what I've been focusing on lately. I hope you've been focusing on something specifically in order to help make your life a little bit more productive, effective, and efficient. All right. So where do I want y'all peoples to put y'all energy at today? Right. It's important that you, like I just stated, you focus on putting your energy towards one specific thing. The place I want a lot of us to put our energy towards today is just being still. Being still. And what I mean by being still, I mean being present. Being accepting of whatever the fuck comes your way. The good, the bad, the ugly, the not so ugly, the pretty things, the shit that stink, and the things that smell dope. Whatever it is, be still and just let it come your way. A lot of the times we be so quick to go. We be so quick to run away from the emotions, the people, the places, the things, whatever it is. We be so quick to kick rocks and get moving. Nah, take a second, sit down, be still, and just soak it in. Because you'll be surprised at how much it feels or how it doesn't feel. Because a lot of the time, and I think I stated this the last time I was here, we overshoot our feelings when it comes to what we think, how we're going to feel. Right? We think we're going to feel bad. We think we're going to feel good. You know, but then when we get to a certain place and we realize that's not what it is, we like, oh, man, I was just tripping. Right. And a lot of us are using that kind of defense mechanism to get away from things just because we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to deal with the emotions. We don't want to deal with the problems. We don't want to deal with any of the stuff that's coming our way. And that's one of the things I'm going to speak about today, but be still. Take your time and just chill and take in and soak in whatever comes your way. Because you're going to be able to process it a little bit more effectively. And it's not going to come surprise you 3 months from now, 2 months from now, a week from now when it comes by and smacks you in the head. Because that's what it is. Anything that we put to the side is not, we're not throwing things away. We're not getting rid of certain things. We're just putting them all to the side. We're just stuffing them in a closet and they're going to grow. Right? It's like emotions fucking gain interest, right? The longer we keep it dormant, the longer we keep it away, the stronger it becomes, right? Your emotions will gain interest the longer you keep it away. So deal with this shit now and get rid of it now, period. So that way it'll save you time in the future. It'll save you energy now. It'll be tough now. It'll be definitely uncomfortable. It'll be definitely something you don't want to deal with for a fact. And you probably don't have the time to actually deal with whatever you need to deal with. I get it. But give yourself time to be still. And if you want to be selective about the things that you need to be still towards, okay, cool. I'm going to be still and be present within these 30 minutes that I have during my lunch break. Right? I'm finna be still in my car, just chilling and reflecting on certain things, right? I'm not going to hit nobody up. I'm not going to text. I'm not about to hop on IG or none of that. I'm just finna relax and kind of calm down. Be still within whatever comes your way. If you're at work and something negative happens, or if you're at work and something positive happens, accept it. Don't just throw it off to the side. Don't just let it be like, nah, accept it. Take it for what it is, the good and the bad, the ugly and the cute. Because just like the cute has a purpose, the ugly has a purpose as well, right? So the place I want a lot of us to put our energy towards today is to be still, be present, and accept whatever the fuck comes your way. All right, so today, right, we're talking about detachment. Detachment. That's a nice word. That's a very, very nice word. Emotionally detaching, right? And that word detachment has kind of been on my mind since I've done since I was a guest on a brunch with besties, right? Last Wednesday. And if you haven't checked out that episode, check out that episode. Hell, you don't even gotta check out my episode. Just check out brunch with besties. two dope women back in Milwaukee. But detachment has been something that has been on my mind, I want to say, since that episode, right? Not all day, every day, but it's just a word that's been on my mind. It's just a word that has been amongst certain conversations that I've been having, right? Because there are things, going back into that episode on why it came up, there are things that I have been through within my life that I had to unconsciously detach from that allowed me to kind of function throughout my day, right? I had to detach from being homeless. I had to detach from, let's say, the death of my mom. I had to detach from a lot of the negative things that I was going through at the time, just to be able to function. Because I don't want people in my shit. I don't want people asking like, yo, what's wrong, and all of these things and blah. Like, don't ask me none of that, especially you a kid, you a teenager. You don't want nobody in your business at all. Well, me in particular, I didn't. I don't want nobody feeling sorry for me. I don't want to be a burden on anyone. So I developed this ability to detach from everything and everyone, right? And that's a very productive thing, but it's also a very negative thing. When we hear detachment, a lot of us think of it in a negative way. We're trying to detach emotionally from the situation, right? We're trying to disconnect from it. We're trying to isolate and get away from this situation. We're trying to avoid things, right? And to a certain extent, sometimes it may be true, but we have to understand detaching is different from disconnecting, right? We're not just automatically pulling out the plug and never putting it back in, right? Detaching is different from disconnecting. Detaching is just, I'm going to take a step back to reevaluate the situation, to be still, to soak it in, to deal with the good and bad, and not take any stances for whatever is going on. That's what detaching is, because that's going to allow you to get to a place to where you can able to be a little bit more peaceful, right? And this word has been popping up in a lot of my conversations because there are many times in which people have strong opinions about things. People out here, like, they will not get off of their horse for nothing when it comes to their ideologies, when it comes to their beliefs, when it comes to their opinions. No, they are super attached to it. They locked up to it. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, it is what it is. Hey, it is what it is. Can't do much about it, right? It is what it is. That's the thing I'd say probably damn near like 10, 20 times a day, because what's the purpose, right? What's the purpose of holding on to this thing, right? There are many things that we can't do. There are many things that we can do. If we can't control the situation in any type of real way, what's the point, right? But when I say it is what it is, or when other people detach from situation, that does not mean that you're taking yourself out of it and you're saying fuck it completely. That's just you accepting the good and the bad. That's you accepting both sides. That's you being able to disconnect from the feelings that may be associated with it, so you do not become wild, so you do not become crazy, so you do not get pissed off or angry, or allow that thing to kind of throw you into a place you don't need, right? Detaching is letting go of those expectations when it comes to people, when it comes to experiences, when it comes to places, when it comes to all of these things that we have going on. Detaching is letting go of those expectations that are associated with all of that shit you probably have going on in your life. Because expectations will do nothing but lead you to some type of disappointment. Expectations are okay. But if we have those expectations on everything, we're going to be disappointed in many different areas. And now we're going to be pissed off, sad, or mad, or whatever it is. Like, nah. Detach from those things. Let go of those expectations. And that's what attaching is. And that's what we're talking about today. Right? Because a lot of people, like I said, look at it as it's a bad thing. It's not. One of the first things, one of the biggest things that attaching is it lets people deal with their own shit. Because a lot of us are too attached. A lot of y'all need to just back up from everybody and everything, right? A lot of y'all are too attached. A lot of y'all take on other people's problems. Y'all take on other people's shit. Y'all don't allow other people to deal with the things that they need to deal with. And what you're doing is you're being a disservice to that other person. You're not allowing that other person to grow. You're cheating that person out of their growth. That's messed up on your end, right? when you're taking on all of their shit, when you're conquering all of their problems, when you put the answers to everything in front of them and do not allow them to find their own way, you're cheating them out of the ability to learn from the things that they have going on. Right? A lot of us are too attached to people, to places, to things, and sometimes that attachment that we're holding on to is causing us more harm than anything else. We're straining ourselves just to hold on to this people. You're straining yourself to hold on to that chick that don't mean nothing, that don't care about you at all, or that dude that don't give no shits about you at all. That dude been cheating on you for years. That dude been treating you like trash for years, but you're attached to it. You're attached to that dude, or it may not even be that dude, but it may be a specific thing that individual gives you. Because I say this all the time, a lot of us are just individuals with holes, right? We're just people with needs, and sometimes that need that we have comes in the form of another person. Whether that person be good or bad, that's the need that I have. So if that person is bad, as long as they're fulfilling my need, hey, it's okay. I can deal with the BS. So when it comes to figuring out how to get away or how to step away from that thing that you're attached to, ask yourself, what are you attached to? Is it the love? Is it the person? Is it the thing? Is it the one thing that person provides? Is it the laughter from that person? Is it the communicate? Like, what is it are you attached to? Because whatever you're attached to this person, you can find it in someone else without all of the BS that comes along with that person or with that thing. Whatever you are attached to, you can find it in other areas that are more productive, that are more efficient, that will treat you extremely better than the situation that you have going on right now. Right? So when we're detaching from people, we have to understand detaching emotionally from people is giving that person the ability to deal with their own shit. Because when you're getting caught up in someone else's pain, what you're doing is you're taking yourself away from your own things. Right? When you're getting caught up in someone else's pain, you're distracting yourself from your pain. You're distracting yourself from your shit. And a lot of us do that, right? A lot of us have BS in our lives that we know we have to deal with, but we intentionally get away from this shit by asking like, yo, big homie, you good? Is everything okay with you? Right? Is everything like copacetic? Right? Is everything straight? Like, if you need some help with something, I got you. I got you with everything. You're so caught up in helping that person that you're not looking at, hey, that you broke. You're not looking at that you got debts and bills piling up. You're not looking at the mess within your life. Because we're not, like I said earlier, we're not trying to be still and just accept the things that are coming our way. So quick to avoid things. So we find something else to be attached to kind of help us get away from the things that we have going on in our life. Let that person be them. Let that person deal with their shit. Give that person the ability to grow. It is not your job or responsibility to push somebody forward. You may want to be that person that help motivate someone and things of those sorts. But when you get out of the place of when you get to a place to where you're doing it, you're putting forth way more energy towards a particular situation than they is, then that's when you have to learn how to detach, right? Because detaching is going to bring you a place to where you can be way more peaceful, right? As I stated earlier, detaching emotionally puts you in a place to where you can accept the good and the bad. You're not taking a stance. So when you're not accepting the good, when you're not taking a stance, when you're just taking the neutral stance, you're putting yourself in a place to where you can just be at peace. You can say, hey, it is what it is. Hey, I can't do much about it. It's not a matter of you don't care, but it's a matter of you care more about your peace than to allow that other nonsense to get in your way. That's what you care about, right? It gives you the ability to get through things effectively. Because when you're at work during the day and you got 5 different things coming your way, you're not going to be able to fully get through your day if you're so attached to all of those things that are coming. That thing is going to throw you all the way off, right? that shit is going to throw you all the way off. And if you're not at a place to where you can say, hey, let me detach from what's going on right now so I can be able to get through the day, it's going to fuck you up. So detaching is extremely useful. Detaching is extremely beneficial. Detaching is something that we all need within our life so we can be able to function at our fullest capacity. Right? Another thing that detaching does, it allows you to take care of yourself first. That's the first. That's a very important thing. Detaching from situations, detaching from things, detaching from people allows you to take care of yourself first. You so attached to the next person that you forgot about your stuff. As I stated earlier, right? You're so busy getting caught up in someone else's shit that you distracting yourself from your pain, from your life, from the job that you finna get fired from because you want to be around and be the cool kid on the block. Like, you fucking up your world because you're not taking your time to deal with self. Right? Don't allow other people to make you feel bad for dealing with self. Right? Because I work in the hospitals. I work in hospitals, and a clear thing, a clear thread, right? A thread that I see in a lot of these hospitals when it comes to people who are 40, 50, and 60 years old, and they may be homeless or they may be broke or their life is just in shambles. They're sick. And one of the things that all of them say, I should have put more focus in myself. I should have put more focus in myself. Because if you put all of the focus and if you attach everything to other people, you're going to be dried out. Right? You're going to be 40 years old. I was talking to this one individual. She was 40 years old. She was homeless. She was crying. She was stuck. She was like, yeah, my kids love me. My kids love me, and even though I'm homeless right now, I can go to any one of their houses. But I don't have anything. I don't have no savings. I don't have no job. I don't have nothing. I don't have no house. I don't have anything because I gave everything away to my kids. I wanted to be able to love them to the best of my ability. Love them to the max. And now she's in a place to where she's regretful of everything that, well, I ain't gonna say regretful, but now she's at a place to where she understands the importance of putting everything in you. So you have to detach from other people so you can be able to attach to yourself. And that's what detaching is a huge majority of the time. When we're detaching from situations, you're saying no to the fact that you're not going to allow that bullshit to come mess you up. Right? And you're giving yourself the chance to attach to that peace that is within you. You're giving yourself the chance to attach to those things that you need to attach to so you can be able to get through the day. Right? So detaching from people, detaching emotionally. We're not talking about detaching eternally from your own things. I'm not talking about detaching and disconnecting from your own internal meter or from your own emotions. We're not running away from shit. I'm talking about detaching from things so you can be able to attach to yourself. So you can be able to attach to the things that you need to take care of. It's important that a lot of us detach from things so we can be more peaceful, so we can allow people to get through their own shit. We have to let people deal with their own problems, people. It is not your responsibility. It is not your responsibility to take care of that person's shit, especially when they got in the shit themselves. If you had something to do with the situation and they may be in this BS because of you, now it's your responsibility. But if they got into the shit because they did XYZ, it ain't your responsibility. A lot of us need to back off from it. When it comes to items, when it comes to specific items that we have in our life, yes, there are many things that hold a extreme amount of importance. Right? I have this might sound kind of weird, but I have this blanket that means the world to me. I have this blanket that means the world to me. For real. Why? Because that blanket was with me when I was homeless. That blanket was with me when I was in college. That blanket was with me everywhere. right? I have this extreme attachment to this blanket. However, the attachment that I have to this blanket is not big enough to where it's going to cause me to be fucked up in other areas. If you're attached to certain things and that thing that you're attached to is causing you to be fucked up in other areas, ask yourself, is that attachment really beneficial? Is that attachment needed? Is that attachment good? Because a lot of the times we think we attach to certain things, when in reality we just depended upon that certain thing. Don't get dependency and attachment confused. Don't get dependency and attachment confused, because you may think you're just attached to this person, but you're really just dependent upon it because you don't have the faith in yourself. That's why it's important to detach, so you can be able to grow that faith in yourself, so you can be able to be dope as fuck. So you can be the dope person that you need to be, because we're dependent upon a lot of things. I'm dependent upon that person right there. So that way I can at least make myself feel a little better. Like, nah. So the one thing I want everybody to be mindful of is detaching is not a negative thing. Sometimes you need the time. You need to be able to detach from all of the BS. Because a lot of us have stuff going on in our life that's not cool. But you got to detach from it. But moving on forward into the self-care piece, though, when we're speaking about detaching, the one thing you have to do is find something to connect with self, right? So the self-care piece I want everyone to implement within their self-care regimen. Find ways to connect with self. Find ways to connect with self. Like, yes, you've done the work to detach from situations. You've done everything that you needed to do to detach from situations and to detach from people, because that's going to bring you more peace. That's going to bring you more freedom. That's going to bring you more power. That's going to bring you more time for yourself. That's going to bring you more resilience towards certain losses or certain problems that you got going on in your life. That's going to allow you to gain some independence. It's going to allow you to gain some self-responsibility, right? It's going to cause you to encourage other people as well. But the one thing you need to be able to do is, after you detach from other people, find ways to connect with self. Find ways to attach to self, because we put that off all the time. And that is probably the most important thing out here in these streets. How are you attaching to yourself? Okay? So quick recap of the show, man. Where do I want y'all to put your energy towards today? Be still. Be present. Soak in the good and the bad, the ugly and the cute, whatever it is. Take that shit in. And don't run away from nothing. We're not. The one thing that a lot of my clients is understanding of is that we ain't running away from shit. We ain't running away from problems. If you are my client and we are in therapy, that's the one thing I'm finna drill in your head. We ain't running away from nothing. But put your energy towards being still today, right? When it comes to detachment, it's a very beneficial thing if you are detaching from people in order to attach to yourself. It's going to put you in a place to where you can allow people to deal with their own shit, so you don't cheat that person out of the ability to grow. It's going to give you your time to take care of yourself, and it's going to give you that ability to be more peaceful when shit happens in your life. Because giving all of that energy towards something may be a waste of time. But just as I stated in the self-care piece, when you're detaching, make sure you find ways to connect with self. All right? So it's Tuesday. We up. If you're listening and you already up, you at work, whatever it is, yo, good looking. All right? Good looking. As always, homie, understand, ain't no wealth without your mental health. So please stay blessed and take care of yourself. Be great, y'all. Peace.